Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. All right, so with today, I'm going to be sharing my screen and we're going to be going over the W-4 calculator for 2018. One of the things I mentioned on a previous broadcast is there was a study that was released that showed that 21% of the people will be under withholding for the 2018 year, which means that there are going to be some people with an unexpected tax bill, okay, that they may not be ready for. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and get this up here. And then once I know it's up, I'm gonna go through how to fill out this W-4 calculator. Now, you're gonna need to have a few things handy to you. You're gonna need to have your pay stub. You're gonna need to have your last year's taxes as well if you really want to do this right. You can kind of guess at some things, but you're really going to need your pay stub and your previous year's taxes if you really want to be able to do this right. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and then we're going to bring this up. Hopefully this works out right. Okay, let me check my phone here and make sure we're functioning, because there's this delay and I could be talking for 20 minutes and y'all won't have seen a thing. So we won't do that. And let me see if I can also, I don't know if I can add a comment here, but I may have to add the link to this later on. So, all right. So I do believe that I'm cruising along here. Okay. So where we are now is the IRS website. It is the irs.gov individuals.irs withholding calculator. Now you can just Google the IRS withholding calculator for 2018. You can Google that and it should get you here. All right. And so, like I said, you want to have some information available, handy to you so that you can effectively use this calculator. So just go to this website and then we're going to go to the withholding calculator. All right. And so this is where you're going to start with the general information. It's going to ask you your filing status. For this example, we're going to do a married filing joint return. Okay. And then the next thing it asks you is, can someone else claim you as a dependent on his or her return? And the answer is no. Now, you might be single. You may be a young college student or something that, that requires you to file taxes. So if your parents can still claim you as a dependent on their taxes, you want to mark yes here. That is very important. Okay. And so then you click continue. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting. Okay. So first of all, move that out the way. Okay, so now it asks you to select the total number of jobs which you and your spouse will be employed. Okay, so if you and both of your spouse are employed, you want to put a 2 here. But if it's just one, leave it at 1. Now, if you had a job but you're no longer employed, you check this box. So you just go through here and check the boxes that apply. Then it asks you to select the number of dependents you will claim on your tax return. So for my husband and I, we're going to have 2 dependents. So you put in your number of dependents. And then you check one of these if these apply, because with being 65 or older, or your spouse, or if you're blind or your spouse is blind, you get an increased standard deduction. Okay. And then we get to the child and dependent care credit. Now, if you have any questions about these, there are these little hyperlinks here that you can use. So I don't have any children that qualify for the child and dependent care credit because I didn't put anybody in daycare. But for the child tax credit, select the number of qualifying children. If you don't know if you have a qualifying child, click on this. And it'll tell you under age 17, must be a U.S. citizen or resident alien, have a social security number, that's issued before the return due date and is claimed as a dependent on your tax return. So if you're like, okay, does my child qualify? Click on the hyperlink, it'll tell you. All right. So I have 2 of those. Okay. And then earned income tax credit. Again, if you don't know, click on the hyperlink. It'll tell you. This is for working families with low to moderate incomes. If you make a 6-figure income, 9 times out of 10, you will not qualify for the earned income tax credit. But for those that do, these are the qualifications. All right. So you close that. And then any other tax credits for which you might be eligible. So you click on the tax credits and it goes through a list of them here. So if you're going to have education credits, mortgage interest credit, health coverage tax credit, premium tax credit, any type of different tax credits that might apply to you here, then this is what you want to put here if you know how much that is. If you don't know, this is why you have your previous year's taxes to see if you claim these credits on your previous year's taxes, and you can enter that information. Okay. Okay, so that's it. And then we're going to click on continue. All right. So then we get to the wage and income. And with wage, income, and withholding. All right. So let's put your gross wages. So we're going to put that we're going to make $100,000. Do you expect to receive bonuses? There are some people who do receive bonuses. If you received a bonus last year, maybe you're on track to receive one this year. You want to put that here. And then you want to look and see what is the total income, federal income tax withheld to date in 2018. So you want to put that here. So let's say you're going to put $15,240. All right. And then you want to enter the federal income tax withheld from your last salary payment. So this is why you need to have your last pay stub. And so let's say it's $1,198. Then it asks how often you are paid. Okay, so I don't really know a job that pays weekly, but every 2 weeks, twice a month, or monthly. So we're in the military. We get paid twice a month. All right. And then select the closest date from when you first held this job in 2018. If you've held the job all year, then you're going to leave these the same. But if you just started the job, or if the job will end before the year is up, let's say you work for the first 6 months of the year, then you would change that date here. All right. Now, for my self-employed squad, this is where we go here. Non-wage income, other taxable earned income. So you click on this. You're talking about tip income, and it says net self-employment income. Okay. So that means, what do you expect to profit? If you're on track the way that you were last year, then use last year's numbers. If you've made more money this year, then you should know right now what your profit is at this point. If you've kept up with your bookkeeping, then you know. Okay. So we're just going to put in $7,000 here, right? Now, if you received unemployment during the year, you need to add that here. And then estimate any other non-wage income, such as dividends and interest. Again, if you don't know for this year, then you need to look at your tax return from last year to see what you had. All right. So then you're done there, and then you click continue. All right. So then we're looking at your deduction. So the standard deduction for married filing joint is $24,000. If you're single, it's $12,000. If your head of household is $18,000. Whatever you checked for your filing status in the beginning of this, that's the number that's going to be here. Okay. So for married filing joint is $24,000. And so then you put in your itemized deductions, what medical expenses you paid, any taxes you paid. So if you paid, now remember, your state and local taxes are limited to $10,000. So if you paid $10,000, then hey, that's what you put here. Okay, or whatever that number is for you. Your gifts to charity. So let's say that you normally donate $10,000. Okay. And then other itemized deductions. Now I'm going to click on this because it shows you that Other deductions that may be claimed for 2018 include gambling losses. Beginning in 2018, job and certain miscellaneous expenses are no longer deductible, okay? So all of those like moving expenses, investment expenses, those things are no longer tax deductible. So for us, let's say for us that we have moving expenses for this year. So let's say we put in $5,000 for that, okay? Then we click continue. Okay, so then it shows us the results based on the numbers that you put in where you are. So based on the information, our estimated income tax is $5,900. So if I don't change anything, then I will have $24,000 withheld, resulting in an overpayment of $18,889. Now, remember, this is an example. Don't go tell nobody Lysandra getting $18,000 back from a refund from the IRS. Have people come and try to knock me over. But anyway, but what this does is it shows you what your projection is at this point, so that you can then make some educated decisions. Are you over withholding? Are you under withholding? And if you are, do you have this money set aside? And so it gives you a recap of the information that you put in. Okay, so that's how you use the W-4 calculator. This is why you need to have the information available. So because it's only going to be as good as the information that you put in here. If you're just guessing, it's not going to do you any good. Let's see here. Make sure I get this right. There we go. So that's the W-4 calculator, you guys, and how you use it. And the IRS has sent out, I promise you, they sent out 4 or 5 emails saying, hey, you need to make sure that you go through and check your W-4 withholdings. And this was within the last 2 weeks. Usually the IRS sends updates. They send like once a week or whatever. They might send a message once or twice, but they are really hammering this home for people to go and do this checkup on their W-4s. So after we get off, I'm going to put the link in the description in one of the comments so that you can go back and just go click on this link and get to the W-4 withholding calculator, this app. It's going to really help you make some decisions and look at where you are with your taxes so far this year. Okay. So that is it for today's episode. And listen, if you need to talk about it, there's my link there for consults, www.homebiztaxchat.com for a 15-minute complimentary consult. We can talk about it. And if we need to book an hour-long consult, then we can definitely do that as well. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And you can come here and get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. You guys have a great day, and I will see y'all next time. All right. So now there we go. I had to figure out where the link was. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.